Dr. Kumar, a GP, practicing at Borough Road and Nunthorpe Medical Group and providing medical cover for star out-of-hours services, was alleged to have committed misconduct. The allegations included that on January 30, February 24, and April 1 of 2021, Dr. Kumar issued prescriptions in the names of patients A, C, and D respectively, but failed to provide the medication to those patients as he knew at the time that the medication was intended for Ms. B, a member of his family. Additionally, it was alleged that Dr. Kumar provided false information to Ms. E, the practice manager, and Roland's pharmacy about the intended recipients of the prescriptions, and that providing medical care to Ms. B by giving her these medications was inappropriate, and that Dr. Kumar failed to inform Ms. B's GP that he had provided her with the medications. The concerns were initially reported to the GMC on April 16, 2021 by Dr. G, and the hearing concluded on January 9, 2023. Dr. Kumar, at the outset of proceedings, admitted to misconduct, which included issuing false prescriptions and dishonesty. The misconduct occurred on multiple occasions over several months, and it is alleged to have put patients at risk of harm, particularly when wrong information was recorded in patient records. The GMC submitted that Dr. Kumar's fitness to practice is impaired due to his misconduct and that his actions amount to serious misconduct. The GMC also submitted that Dr. Kumar's dishonesty was not an isolated incident and that his actions spanned several months. The GMC also stated that, although Dr. Kumar took steps to develop insight and understanding of his misconduct, but the GMC believed that his fitness to practice is still impaired and the finding of impairment is needed for the overarching objective. The tribunal heard evidence and testimonials from colleagues and considered documents such as certificates of completion of various training courses, mentoring meeting notes, and the GMC's prescribing guidance. The tribunal found that Dr. Kumar's actions in prescribing medication for himself and his family members without making proper records or obtaining informed consent amounted to misconduct. The tribunal also found that Dr. Kumar's failure to disclose his prescribing of the medication on his annual appraisal amounted to misconduct. The tribunal further found that Dr. Kumar's misconduct was serious as it involved a breach of trust and a failure to adhere to basic principles of medical practice. The tribunal noted that Dr. Kumar's actions put his patients and the public at risk of harm and brought the medical profession into disrepute. The tribunal concluded that Dr. Kumar's fitness to practice is currently impaired due to his serious misconduct of falsifying prescriptions for controlled drugs under the name of patients and providing the medications to another person without knowledge of her medical history. This put patients at risk of harm and brought the medical profession into disrepute. The tribunal considered whether Dr. Kumar's misconduct was capable of being remedied and found that he has made significant efforts to do so, including attending targeted courses and engaging in ongoing mentoring. However, they were concerned that he has not fully recognized the gravity of his dishonesty and its potential to seriously undermine the reputation of the profession. The tribunal concluded that a finding of impairment is necessary in order to promote and maintain proper standards of conduct for the medical profession. The GMC submitted that the appropriate sanction for Dr. Kumar's misconduct is a period of suspension, citing the sanctions guidance and the tribunal's previous findings. They acknowledged that there were mitigating circumstances and that Dr. Kumar has taken steps to remediate, but argued that taking no action would not be appropriate. They also argued that conditions on Dr. Kumar's registration would not be appropriate or workable as the misconduct was dishonesty. They stated that a period of suspension would be the appropriate sanction to maintain public confidence in the profession and act as a deterrent for other members of the profession. On behalf of Dr. Kumar, it was submitted that his actions were out of character and that the risk of repetition is low. He submitted that the level and impact of the dishonesty in this case was at the low end of the spectrum, and submitted that a short period of suspension of 28 days may be the most appropriate sanction in order to send out a signal and set out the importance of compliance with appropriate standards. The tribunal applied the principle of proportionality, balancing Dr. Kumar's interests with the public interest and taking into account both aggravating and mitigating factors. The tribunal considered a range of possible sanctions, starting with the least restrictive, and ultimately determined that a more severe sanction of suspension was necessary. Given the seriousness of Dr. Kumar's conduct and the need to protect patients and maintain public confidence in the profession, the tribunal suspended Dr. Kumar's registration for a period of 3 months after determining that his dishonest behavior was a serious departure from professional standards. They took into account aggravating and mitigating factors, including the likelihood of repeating misconduct and expressions of remorse and regret. The suspension was intended to maintain public confidence in the profession and send a clear message that this type of conduct is unacceptable. The tribunal also determined that a review hearing after the short suspension would serve no useful purpose as there were no clinical concerns and Dr. Kumar had made significant efforts to improve.